think about the belief that you have. Re-examine it. Re-examine worship of a man. Why you worship a man who worships God? It's a fair question.
Why do you believe the Quran's revelation is better than
Because the
revelation
Quran proof itself is from God.
It's impossible.
Bring a chapter like it. In the Quranic Arabic, the genre that is, bring a chapter like it.
There's so many verses in the Quran, I think it's dreadful.
Like which one, brother? For example, give me an example.
Give me an example of a dreadful.
No, I'm not going to give you an example.
Why not? You're afraid?
No.
Go ahead then, share with us. So many examples of dreadful verses in the Quran. Give us few. We would like to know how Christians assess the Quran. Go ahead. I would like to hear them.
Just with endorsement of all kinds of things.
Examples. Quote me verse, chapter, verse, surah, ayah.
If you want that, you need to talk to Jay Smith, because I don't spend my time learning surahs and ayahs.
Who is?
But I've read it through.
Who's Jay Smith? The liar? The liar one. Jay Smith, the liar.
It's not a liar.
Oh, you haven't seen his lies? So you believe he speaks the
says a
truth?
lie.
Oh, is it not self-evident
No.
that he lies?
No.
Oh, so
I
you
would
haven't
say-
watched any of the videos on the internet then, have you?
Yeah, I've watched something.
Oh, have you? You haven't watched them, and you haven't seen him how he got caught in lying with the various people? Do you remember the particular one about AJ Deuce? He says AJ Deuce said this, he was that, and every single instance we caught him lying, and he was there. It's up there in the internet. Go to Yahya Snow's YouTube channel, Yahya Snow, and the video is up there.
Wait a minute, say that slowly.
Yahya Snow,
How do you spell that?
Y-A-H,
Yeah.
Y-A, Yahya, Snow as in snow, right?
Yahya Snow.
Right. And you will see the evidence in front of your eyes how he's caught red-handed. And then I would like to speak to you after watching that and say, is he a lying individual or not? Because he's not here to defend, so let's leave him, because it's not appropriate to speak to us about someone, but he's...
Well, I don't know about that because I haven't seen it.
So please go and check. Please go and check.
Do you discount all the scholarship?
What scholarship has he brought? Go ahead, share with us. What scholarship has he brought that is so you find it interesting?
The scholarship of the woman who speaks 12 or is it 18 ancient languages, reads ancient languages. She's a professor at Cambridge University. She went to America, I think she's died now, and she's the one who says she studied through all the ancient writings that she can get hold of in ancient languages, and she can find no mention of Mecca prior to a certain date.
The Quran mentions Mecca or not?
That's scholarship. That's true scholarship.
Excuse me.
Because that is a person who will understand.
True scholarship means you take all the data into account, right?
Well,
Does the Quran mention Mecca?
It mentioned it once, possibly.
So there is data that Mecca is mentioned in the Quran. So true scholarship should account for that, right?
She's talking to prior to that.
Prior to that, was Mecca a city like very well-known city, cosmopolitan city?
I'm not
that
this
should be mentioned.
I'm saying to you that you said what scholarship does he bring? I said behind what he
What's
said.
her name?
I don't know. But
Such a scholar, 18 languages, you didn't even know her name.
Why should I? It's not my field.
Okay, so don't bring it up then.
I've seen it.
Then don't bring it up.
No, because
If you're going to make a claim, you need to substantiate it. It's a fair thing to ask.
No, you can check it on the YouTube. It's very easy to find.
Where is it in the YouTube?
Look up any of Jay Smith's talks and he refers to it.
I haven't heard any of that. Maybe I...
Well, you haven't looked very thoroughly then.
I am
if
not
you're interested in
look,
scholarship,
I am not interested
you haven't
in...
delved very far down.
Listen. I don't go for scholarship. Go to YouTube, Google and YouTube. That's not scholarship.
No.
Scholarship is in academic journals. Scholarship is in the research journals. Give me a research journal that I can go and study and say this is what it's talking about.
Well, I'm sure it's
That's scholarship.
easy to find out.
No, it's not. Oh, I'm sure it's easy to find. The Bible said worship Melchizedek.
It's not my field.
You know what? Bible says
I know,
worship
I know.
Melchizedek. It's easy to find.
You're an intelligent guy. If you're interested, it'd be easy for you to go and research, find this lady's name,
Research.
find out what she's written,
Why won't
find
you?
out what her
You know what?
credentials are.
You know what?
can do it.
You are a very nice guy. I ask you for a favor. Get me the name from Jay Smith next week. That's easy. You see how I've done my research?
The name of what?
That scholar. And
I can find it tonight. You could find it tonight.
Go on then, do it.
It would take you 10 minutes.
Go and do it then. I'll stay here for 10 minutes. I won't say a word. Go on. Get me the scholarship articles and journals or books she's written on this issue and her names, please. Go ahead.
Oh, this is someone who, someone who knows. This lady might be. Patricia Crow. Her name is Patricia Crow.
Patricia
So it didn't
Crow.
even take 10
Okay.
minutes.
Where in Patricia Croner's work does she mention that Mecca didn't exist?
It's not my field. I'm not discussing.
Is it field of whose field is it?
You asked me.
You brought this up.
Because you said what scholarship is there behind
Yeah.
J. Smith's work.
Do you know what Patricia
And I
Croner said?
He is a scholar himself, but he also
Okay.
represents the
Okay.
scholarship.
Let me tell
of
you something
quite
that you
a wide
didn't know.
range
Do you know what Patricia Croner said? If I'm not mistaken, Patricia Croner said something about we know about.
her. So you're dissembling. You know her name, and you know her scholarship. And just now you're challenging me and saying you don't know.
Listen.
So that's dissembling.
Patricia Croner, did she say the moon is made out of cheese?
I have no idea what she said.
Right? So you cannot bring a scholar for willy-nilly everything that you make claims of. You have to bring specific claims when you bring scholarship. I'm saying Patricia Croner, if I'm not mistaken with this person, said we know about historical Muhammad more than we know about historical Jesus. Something along this line. So what is there to discuss? Prophet Muhammad is more historical than your Jesus in his historicity.
I don't think that's true. But
there's certainly a scholar
my
who said this.
My point initially is that you say J. Smith is a liar.
Yes.
And I said he brings a lot of scholarship.
A liar can do that.
And you said...
No, a liar can do that.
You said what scholarship does he bring?
Yeah.
And I said the name of the...
On what?
Which you actually know, but you pretend you don't know.
On what though?
I find
Excuse
her
me.
name,
No.
And you turn out
Excuse
to
me.
know her.
Listen.
So you know there is a lot of scholarship.
You've been
behind
very,
what you
very, what I'm going to say, not being very useful in the discussion that we're having. Not being very helpful.
I'm not trying to be useful.
Helpful. No. Because when we talk about, listen.
I'm not a scholar in this field.
When you say J. Smith, you know J. Smith brings scholars. You know which scholars brings? He brings, we have this Ihsan Ghulu, we have this scholar, but he misquotes them. He misquotes them. He misrepresents them.
This is what you say.
No,
this is your view.
it is well documented. For example, let me share with you. Perhaps you can now bring this up again. He used to say the top copy manuscripts is 78% complete. It is there in Shabbir Ali debates between him and Shabbir Ali. It is there in the conferences, talks that he gives. It's there. You cannot take it off anywhere from online presence. It's there. Now, I asked him on the ladder and elsewhere through his students, where do you get this figure from? That the top copy manuscripts of the Quran is 78% complete. He says he's going to bring me the references.
You mean it's incomplete? So it's only up to certain surahs?
No. He says only 78% complete. Rest is incomplete. Rest. Yeah? You understand what I mean? It's not 100% complete.
I'm not claiming to understand all this.
No.
What I'm claiming is
you misunderstood what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This gentleman, which you seem to accept him as a truthful person, and the whole world knows he's caught red-handed in his lies. Exactly. I am saying he made a claim like the top copy manuscript from the scholarship is 78% complete. Now, I know where he gets this from. He gets this from our website, IslamicAwareness.org, where we talk about another manuscript, also happened to call Top Copy Sarai. So names are very similar. And that manuscript we know is 78%.
Right.
But he mixes the other manuscripts and he's talking about, no, the top copy manuscript in Istanbul, the top copy manuscript in this, which is a facsimile available, and he has access to the facsimile. After correcting his prime students like Hatun, he hasn't gone on public and saying, I apologize for my mistake. you know what? I was misled by superficially reading IslamicAwareness.org.
Yeah, he's taking a little bit of break. He's doing some.
He hasn't done that. So he has misquoted and misrepresented. So I'm not going to go anymore because you're asking me to tell about him. I would like him to be present here so he can defend himself. He can defend himself. So let's talk about, why do you worship a man who worships his God?
Why do I worship a man? Jesus, you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Because he reveals, because it's revelation.
So if the revelation tells you that God became half man and half elephant, called Ganesh, you would worship him.
If it was a revelation from God, but of course that isn't a revelation.
So if it was, you would worship him, right? So you would not question why you have a revelation which says God is half man and half elephant. You would not question that. You would just simply put all your trust in worship.
If someone said that was a revelation from God, I would say, well, where's the evidence?
Okay, what's the evidence that the Bible is from God? Because the Bible is your revelation to you, right?
Hang on, you changed tack now.
No.
Just now.
I am cutting the chase because you are not willing to accept
about
God.
Jesus.
No, you are not willing to accept God called Ganesh, half elephant, half man. You would question what makes you believe this revelation is from God, the book which says that. So I am saying your source of your belief seems to be the Bible, which you consider to be revelation. What is the evidence that the Bible is from God?
Prophecies which have been fulfilled hundreds of years later.
Like?
The life of Jesus himself.
Okay, prophecies being
Even the
fulfilled.
Quran admits he
What
killed
about the
people.
life of Jesus
He
that
raised
makes
the dead.
no? What about the life of Jesus that makes the Bible from God?
The life of Jesus that makes the Bible from God.
Yeah, you're bringing this as an evidence. The Bible is from God. What about in the life of Jesus that when he says, "I don't know the hour," that makes the Bible from God? What about he says, "My Father is greater than I can of myself do nothing," that makes the Bible from God?
Yeah, you're going here, there, and everywhere. What I say.
That's why I'm asking you
what I'm
specifically.
saying,
Tell us exactly
in the book
what.
of Isaiah,
Yeah.
it says he will be. There's the prophecies throughout the Hebrew Scriptures about a coming Messiah.
Is the Messiah to be God in the Old Testament? Was the Messiah ever prophesied that the Messiah is God on earth to come?
If you read the book of Isaiah, yes.
Where does it say that?
It says he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Almighty God, Prince of Peace, the Everlasting Father.
He'll be called, that means it's his name, right?
Isaiah,
That-
Everlasting Father.
Is
That's
Jesus
in
the
it.
everlasting Son or the everlasting Father?
This is,
Make up your mind.
You tell Isaiah to make his mind.
No, I want you to
This is
tell us,
Isaiah,
do you believe Jesus
say
is the
believe-
everlasting Son or is he everlasting Father? Which one is he?
I'm talking about Isaiah.
I would like to ask you directly.
Yeah, I know.
Do you
I know.
believe, according to Isaiah, that prophecy relates to an individual who shall be called the Prince of Peace, the government on your shoulders, right? Did Jesus have government on his shoulders?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yes. He has government on his shoulders
Listen.
now.
Do you know what government is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Authority.
Did Jesus have government on his shoulders? Did he
Yes.
have political authority? Did Jesus have political authority?
He had more authority than political.
I ask you about political authority. Government.
Well, now you're
me.
being specific. Authority is not just political.
Oh, what is a
authority.
government? Government is not political?
Authority is to
Excuse
say
me.
to a person,
Is
cast out that devil.
is the idea
God,
of a
and the
government-
devil goes from him.
Is the idea?
That's authority.
Excuse me.
Authority is to say to a leper, you are cleansed.
Listen,
He is
listen,
healed.
listen.
That's authority.
Strawman argument.
Authority is to say to a dead person, raise from the dead, and that person raises. That's authority.
We're not
And
talking
it's
about
much more
authority.
greater authority.
We're not talking about authority. We're talking about
Much greater
government.
than political authority.
Is government a political concept? Is the concept of government a political concept?
That's a bit of a change of tack.
Because Isaiah says what will be on his shoulders, authority or government? Which one? What did Isaiah say?
The government will be a
Right. So the word is government.
Listen,
Slow down.
Yeah.
Government. Is the concept of a government a political concept?
Ali, you chick.
It's all sorts of things. It can be political.
It can be political.
It's not necessary.
Did Jesus have political authority on
Well,
earth?
of course, the Jews thought that it would be a political authority.
So first of all,
And that's why they were so disappointed.
so now,
in Jesus' life.
now you're telling me,
Because Jesus rejected
My friend,
his opportunity to take political
you're
authority.
giving me two
He
counts
did
why
not
Jesus is
take-
not the Messiah.
He did not take political authority.
Excuse me. You are giving me...
My kingdom is not of this world.
So he didn't have the authority
But the
then?
time is coming when he's coming in the clouds with the glory of the Father.
That's your hope, right?
And with the angels.
Right.
It's his word.
Right, that's
It's
your
his
hope.
word.
So basically,
It's his
so
word.
far, remember, so far the prophecy is
It's
not
his
fulfilled.
word. No, of course it's not fulfilled. No, not yet.
So the prophecy is
will
not
be.
fulfilled. So
It
this
will
prophecy, you cannot do anything about it because it's not fulfilled. It's no point bringing a prophecy as an evidence which is not fulfilled.
Well, then you might
Try
as well
to-
never have a prophecy.
Excuse me.
Isaiah might as
Listen.
well never prophesy.
Listen.
If you're going to take that,
If you're going to
because
bring-
it wasn't yet fulfilled.
if you're going to bring an evidence,
600 years.
Listen.
600 years later,
My friend.
Isaiah's prophecy was fulfilled.
Try to
And not
understand
how-
something.
Not how they expected it.
try
He
to
wasn't
understand.
a political
Look,
messiah.
try to understand. If you are going to bring an evidence from a prophecy, that prophecy needs to be fulfilled. If it's not fulfilled, how is that an evidence?
Well, when a prophecy is given, it isn't fulfilled. It's a period of time when that prophecy is not fulfilled.
Okay, you know what?
When it is fulfilled,
this
then
refers
that
to
period of time
Krishna.
comes to an end.
This prophecy refers to Krishna.
Will, if you believe in
Did you hear what I said?
He will come again.
Excuse me. This prophecy,
Yes.
mighty prince, wonderful counselor, refers to Krishna. It will be fulfilled. Is that an evidence for Krishna?
Well, if Krishna was a Jewish prophet who arrived, years later in the Jewish culture.
Jewish.
You said Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna.
Yeah, he's not Jewish, is he?
Does it apply to Krishna?
Of course not.
Why not?
Because he's not Jewish.
So he has to be
He's
Jewish.
not the line of Judah.
Okay. So now you believe the Messiah has to be from the line of
Yes.
Judah.
According to, if you're going to accept those prophets as prophets,
so how is
which I
this?
believe
Now,
Islam
now tell
does,
me now.
then-
Tell me, please.
then
please.
the Messiah has to
Tell
come
me,
from that
please.
line. Because
How is this an evidence
it's
the
a
Bible is from God?
ridiculous It's a ridiculous question. Just
Tell me, no.
It's Krishna.
In your
It's a
ridiculous
question.
attempt, I'm not going to say this is, it'll be an insult to you if I said.
Why do you bring Krishna into it?
Why are you bringing an argument for supporting the Bible is from God from a prophecy which is not even fulfilled? I thought you are more knowledgeable and more intelligent than as you presenting today. You need to bring evidence which counts as an evidence. What evidence do you find that the Bible is from God? Okay. What about prophecies which are invented and fabricated and false? For example, the New Testament gospel writer Matthew says, "And he shall be called a Nazarene, as was spoken by the prophets." What a historical nonsense. Where in the historical record of the Jewish people can you show me that the Messiah, or Jesus rather, is called a Nazarene?
Well, if you excuse me, I think you're making a mountain out of a very small molehill.
It's a prophecy made up, concocted, fabricated, invented by Matthew. So it's an evidence. So it's an evidence that the Bible is not from God.
How do you know? How do you know?
Okay, so where is it then? This prophecy? Where?
All the prophecies aren't easy
No,
to interpret.
that prophecy is where
Not
he
everything's
shall be
easy
called
to
a Nazarene.
Not everything's easy to interpret.
It's not my interpretation. Where is this prophecy in the Jewish scripture? It's a made-up one. Matthew made up. So basically, you're saying the argument from prophecy establishes that the Bible is not from God because it's a made-up prophecy. It goes against you. I'm sorry.
Well, it may be.
I'm sorry. It goes against you.
There's
So
many
give me a
things.
better
I can't answer
evidence.
every single question.
What evidence do you have, or what
All right,
support do you
the
have the
Psalms.
Bible is from
go
God?
Go back to the Psalms of David.
Yeah.
Which
What about
you,
it?
is it what your David is your prophet? Yeah. And he wrote Psalm, I think, Psalm 22, where it explains this. It almost explains the process of crucifixion, and he says, "This what will happen. None of his bones will be broken." That happens in. There's not many deaths that you can incur where your bones aren't broken, and crucifixion is one of them.
What is your evidence that Jesus was dead? You're making up
No, wait a
claims
minute,
and
wait a
rumors.
Okay,
What is your evidence?
you keep going from one thing to
No,
another.
you bring up
About-
crucifixion,
Yes.
but where is your evidence that he was actually
Well, as we-
crucified and he
as
died?
we all know, the fundamental difference between the Quranic teaching.
No,
and
you will know. I ask you for an evidence, my friend. Evidence,
no.
not your opinions,
But you don't
not
have
your
any,
rumors.
You don't have any evidence either.
No.
You
It
don't
is
have
your.
any evidence.
Look, we started by asking you what makes you believe that the Bible is
You
from
asked me
God.
for a prophecy, yeah.
No,
And I
prophecy.
say Psalm
No.
22
Look,
clearly describes how the Saviour will die.
did he die?
Yes.
What is your evidence that he died?
We've got 4 Gospels. Thousands of people saw him and knew him.
Wait. 4 Gospels.
Yeah.
These writings count as an evidence. So when the Quran says
to-
God revealed to Prophet Muhammad revelation, so it's an evidence that Prophet Muhammad is a prophet of God because the Quran says so. Interesting evidence. So now you believe the Quran is from God because the Quran says it's from God. That's all you need. You only need
You can choose to believe that if you like.
no
But to
evidence.
me-
Evidence.
Well, you have no evidence.
Excuse me.
You have no evidence.
The Quran says it's from God. Is that an evidence that Quran is from God?
Well, I could